Hey everyone, we're at the PowerColor suite now at CES 2019. PowerColor, so we visited last year and we saw I don't know, it was the Devil Box or the Game Box, but they had a couple of these eGPU enclosures and they're back this time. Our biggest criticism then was that the airflow was really pretty rough. So good news, PowerColor has listened in a significant fashion, and these are improved in pretty much every way that we requested about a year ago. So good development timeline there. I wanted to show them off and get some idea from the audience as to what the interest is in this type of product, because we don't cover them a whole lot, but if there's a lot of interest, we can look into it. Before that, this video is brought to you by the Deep Cool Captain 240 Pro AIO cooler. The Captain 240 Pro uses a bladder within the water tank to expand and contract based upon liquid temperature as a leak prevention mechanism. This works by burping air at higher temperatures, making for a unique closed-loop liquid cooler design. The Captain 240 Pro also expands upon the existing Captain series by extending tube length for more flexible positioning and updating the LEDs. Learn more at the link in the description below. So significant improvements, let's go through those. Last time, the biggest concern was ventilation, was fan placement, was internal power supply placement, stuff like that. So this one, the Mini Pro, smaller chassis, fits something like 1070 Mini. You can fit like an RX 560, 570 Mini, stuff like that. External power supply, the chassis itself is steel. It is running warm, and if you have anything that can be a heat-sinking material, you want it to be warm to the touch, because that means that it's sinking heat. So that's a good thing. Perforation everywhere, kind of the NZXT chassis approach to perforating the hell out of the case. Front of it's got two USB 3, it hooks up via Thunderbolt, and then your throughput is something like PCIe Gen 3x4, and that's a Thunderbolt limitation. The power brick now is external. So previously we were looking at these enclosures with an internal power supply, an ATX power supply that runs just 12 volt, or some of them run like 5 volt for smaller components, things like that. But this is no internal power supply, it's a bit smaller. Instead, you get the size back from an external power brick. It's 240 watts, so you could put a video card in up to that spec. And then keeping in mind that, as we've discussed with laptops in the past, it's really difficult to go beyond 300, 330 watts on these external bricks. So that's why you saw things like the MSI laptops running 2 power supplies as input, because for safety and certification reasons, they couldn't really go beyond 330. So 240 is about the limit for an external supply. But yeah, $199 for the enclosure, no video card included at that price. And then I think you have the rest of the specs for that one. So the next one is the Mini Non-Pro. It's more of a 560 model. And this one, the power supply is 180 watts. And so you get a bit smaller in terms of the power capabilities of the video card, but very portable. And I guess the use case for these things, from what I understand, is primarily Mac users. So I wouldn't suspect a lot of you use external GPU enclosures, but if you do, please let us know, because, or if you don't, I'm curious to hear what the saturation of our market is for our audience. But I think Apple makes a bit of sense, because money, and also not particularly good a lot of the time for the GPU side. So yeah, smaller one, that's really all there is to it. This is a prototype. So this one, there's still room to change, but I'll walk you through what's here today. And what's here is bigger GPU support, obviously. You could, there's a fan mounted to the side, so a 120 millimeter, currently set up as exhaust. And then there should probably be perforation. We don't have a top panel here today, but I think it's supposed to be perforated on both sides, or at least one. So the GPU should be able to intake on its own via fans on the video card through the perforated holes. And then exhaust, I think the top's probably going to be enclosed, but we'll see. If the fins are vertical, it will exhaust up and down, but if you have a fan in the back, it doesn't matter. The pressure from the fan is going to overcome pretty much everything else anyway, so it shouldn't really be any heat buildup. Power supply, ATX intakes from the back, again, probably through perforated holes on the, or perforation on the side panel of the case, and then that'll exhaust out the back towards me, where the I/O is for the video card. So this is not finished. The current ATX power supply in here is not finished. That will change, but I think the idea is targeting more of the high-end user, which is probably what more of you would be if you're buying something like this, something comparable, for example, to the Razer Core or to the Devil Box, previously Game Box, stuff like that. So that covers the PowerColor suite. Couple questions for you as viewers. Do you care about any of this stuff? If you do, why? If you don't, why? And I guess hearing the prices, so like $200 standalone, and this one comes with a video card, so kind of hard to give a price on that standalone because don't have one yet. But what would you pay for something like a steel small enclosure like these with maybe a couple USB ports, or what do you think is it reasonable to pay given that it costs money to make things? So let us know below. Otherwise, subscribe for more. As always, you can go to patreon.com/gamersnexus. Helps out directly. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.